Why'd you go in my face? Something messed up, some shit. Big all in my face like that.
Like the future. It has kick-ass ordnance. Never thought I'd hear so much about spiders. Right out. I'll meet my family, but not today.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Smoke up.
Your savage soul will rage on eternally, devil.
Snowball fight.
Now I'm getting mad. Got your back.
You are nothing!
Hey, Dad! Someone clip this!
We are undefeatable.
Your savage soul will rage on eternally, devil.
Nice little boost. Adding to your underworld army, huh?
Get that beast moving I like the color. hero. Or villain, I'm not judging.
I'm not a hero. I'm the Punisher. Well, at least the beast's got
30
my
seconds
back.
before you attack. Get ready.
Old soldiers stick together.
Real soldiers do the right thing, not the easy thing.
Forlitz was my life. But wouldn't it be fabulous to have an all-superhero band?
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Intruders detected.
People are always afraid of Ty, but they just don't know him.
He's incoming.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Battlefield ready again.
They captured the mission area!
They ain't seen nothing yet.
Glad to help.
Welcome to the Dark Force dimension.
Nice little boost.
Anyone willing to help?
I'm good to go.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Another bump in the road.
Feel the pull! Control C's! Everybody needs a hand sometimes.
I am barely wounded. Keep people out, or else.
I'll meet my family, but not today.
Power of Asgard. I am Asgard. Hulking arrows.
Firepower.
Wow, 4 in a row! Wow, amazing!
I re-upped.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going. Disappear!
I'm Hulking.
Control lost!
Within the range of battle.
Now I'm getting mad.
Gunships got me.
The beast's got my back.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Odinson, your realm is in peril.
I will preserve it. And you and I will have our reckoning.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Franklin and Val are gonna be so sad they missed this.
Malas noches. Well, looky here.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Have my thanks.
Tandy needs help.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger.
The mission area is yours.
Good. This is where I make my stand. Heavy weapons. I'm in love.
Strike deep, soul piercer.
Back for another tour. Huh.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Who could fight the goddess of hell?
Battlefield ready again.
The area is almost yours.
As expected.
Face oblivion!
Another epic victory. Big win. The right heroes could make all the difference.
I'm not a hero. I'm the Punisher.
be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
I like your style, Knight. I bet you're one of the few here who'd appreciate the joy of slaying a monster.
Sounds like a blast, but have you ever taken out an ancient god of vengeance before?
Not yet, but I'm always up for a challenge, mate. Why?
No reason. But if that ever
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
I'm used to fighting on the streets, going across all space and time. Battlefield ready again.
A big gun.
Castle's turret won't bother us anymore.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger.
You were never the good guy. Battlefield ready again. Rally here.
I seem to be unprotected.
Don't worry, Dagger. I'll keep the light alive.
Bullseye. Turret's blown. I'm infantry again. Judge, jury, executioner!
That really helped.
I re-upped.
There, ahead. I found them.
Show how you nailed it.
More scum screamed
Stop
off.
that vehicle in its tracks.
Fire support on the double. Yeah.
A gift from Khonshu. This was Khonshu's will.
I re-upped.
Shuffle up.
Down and out.
Oh, sweet move, right? So futile.
I'm good I'm good to go.
Better stop that vehicle!
Cheers, mate! Thanks for the laugh, love.
Extended my deployment.
I got hit! Like,
Styles up front. Nice little boost.
Don't get back up.
I'm good to go.
Dinner time, love!
All patched up.
Oh, sweet move, right? Prepare to be stared.
You really should have gone harder, love.
Judge, jury,
he's stopping the action! Only 60 seconds left. I hurt! Help me out! Down to 30 seconds. They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
I'm good to go.
Better stop that vehicle!
leave them to Khonshu.
Better stop that vehicle!
Here comes the hawk. What's your step?
It's now or never! Stop now! Don't give them another inch! Or else.
Extended my deployment.
If they come where you're standing,
Only 60 seconds left. Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Before it was cool. Powering up.
Got eyes on an enemy.
Get that vehicle moving again!
Let's get you where you need to go, Spider Zip. Let's blow through.
You had a good run, Summers.
You made a bad choice.
You're halfway there! Keep going!
You're my kind of rodent.
Found one of their
Almost there! Don't turn that now!
Iron Man, operational
Amazing
again.
Spider-Man! beast, a robot.
This web, it's like string theory come to life. Get Spider Zero here up to the web. Done and done. One step closer to saving the world. Ah, that's better.
This could all come down. Feeling exposed.
That's it! Don't let anything stand in your way.
Heads up.
Efficient!
I'm gonna find whoever put me out last time. Now that's shocking!
3, big win! You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
I'm not a hero. I'm the Punisher.
Before you attack, get ready.
Look at us. We practically match.
This is haute couture, darling. Designed by Jumbo Carnation himself.
Oh, my costume just kinda came with my powers.
And I'm practically seething inside about how good it is.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I got hit! Like hard!
I'm as flawless as they come, darling.
Battlefield ready again.
That tour of Egypt.
I re-upped.
If only I could have this for myself. But we... My strength is back.
You're halfway
not
there.
over.
Keep going.
You owe me one. Oblivion calls!
Battlefield ready again.
Your justice has never been so tragic. We need you.
have a job to do.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Battlefield ready again. I didn't forget about you. Supernova!
Get ready.
That is much better.
Almost there. Turn back now.
Now I'm getting mad. Huh.
Gotta fly.
Armed and dangerous! Battlefield ready again.
Vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the momentum. You belong to me!
You deserve that, dear.
Can't let all of Apocalypse's work be for nothing.
I'm hit pretty bad. Judge! Jury! Executioner! Battlefield ready again.
Kill!
Lights out for scum.
Don't let anything stand in your way.
New entry in the War Journal. War is hell, right, Barnes?
So close. This is your big chance.
Yo soy el final.
Pick your hero. Or villain, I'm not judging.
I'm not a hero. I'm the Punisher. Got my back.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Hold on. You came back from the future to fight with us?
More like the future came back and brought me with it.
Okay, whatever that means. But you are gonna fight with us, right?
As long as I can.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
I've been around a long time, and I've learned too much about how to hurt people.
Imperial spaceship spare one ready for takeoff. 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Bogies incoming! Heavy weapons. I'm in love.
Looks like the mission area is your area!
This is not over.
Let the sparks fly! You fought as long as you could, Ben. Be proud.
Point.
Back to the beginning. Powerful healing. Powerful healing. I shall retrace my path and follow it to victory.
Cosmic rounds.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
I know that look. You're just... It's all for the right reasons.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
I'm gonna need some serious retail therapy after this.
Bogies, here they come.
Oh, yeah.
Targeted for extermination.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Warning. Protective shield compromised. Cease hostile actions.
Take everything! The mission area is yours.
Tastes like the heart-shaped herb. My strength is renewed. Powerful healing. mess with the amazing Spider-Man! Powerful healing. My aim is true. Powerful healing. We are in the front. Prepare yourselves.
Targeted for extermination.
Guide my spear! What in vast name of hope my strength is removed? We may be outnumbered, not outmatched.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
We are only given so many chances to shine. Pentagram of Parole.
They've almost got it!
Powerful healing.
Ouch, that hurts!
My strength is renewed.
I am Phoenix! No winner yet. Going to overtime!
Gamma spawn!
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Out. Was Freezy be technically a prince? Ain't the point of this video. The point is
you might be underestimating me. Wouldn't be the first time. The big drug companies and hospital monopolies have been...
Joe Rogan did not start his podcast trying to become one of the most influential men on the planet. He seemed like an authentic dude who was just famous enough to get access to extraordinary people, but his platform may have gotten too big and too valuable for the elites to ignore. What started as casual conversations with comedians and weirdos turned into serious conversations with billionaires and politicians. For over a decade, fans felt like they really understood Joe, but these days he has become the exact thing he used to hate about modern media, which has resulted in millions of his viewers checking out. His podcast has dropped from #1 in the world to #5 and could continue to go down. However, anyone who's been watching for a while knows this didn't happen overnight. There were actually 6 key first sign that everything was about to change for the worse was in 2020 when Joe Rogan 113 episodes or 300 hours of content from the JRE library. Some of those episodes included conversations with comedians comedians like Joey Diaz, Brazilian mixed martial artist Rickson Gracie, and notorious conspiracy theorists like Brian Dunning and Alex Jones. It felt like a slap in the face to the fans because the wide variety of guests was what made the show so interesting. Sometimes JRE was genuinely educational, with scientists, doctors, or journalists having deeply nuanced conversations you couldn't get anywhere else.
While we're on this subject of subatomic particles and weirdness, I want to, if you could, illuminate.
Up, I'm partying, you know, I'm living high on the hog. Dude, I thought I heard something outside, right? So I leave out of my apartment to go in the hallway, lock myself out with the blender going. 2:30 in the morning, up out of my brain, right? Now I have to go to my landlord, dude, who lives right down the hall.
But the most important thing was that absolutely nothing was off limits, no matter how ridiculous it seemed.
Some guy asked me the other day if I wanted to have someone who's a flat earth proponent. Is apparently the best arguer for a flat earth.
Come on, I want to hear that. I want to hear that argument. What can they possibly say? Of course it's strong, but the one thing that's
just an authentic guy trying to chat with interesting people. JRE had a similar appeal as a late-night talk show, except these conversations lasted 3 hours instead of a few minutes. Plus, it didn't feel like a polished corporate product. It felt like you were sitting in the room with an interesting guest and you could count on Joe to keep the conversation fresh and engaging with good questions.
People that are listening to this are probably going, what is gauge symmetry, dude? You just passed over that and you said it was crazy.
Okay,
is there a way that you could possibly just give
I'll
a synopsis?
Sure,
okay.
we'll try. We'll see how we do.
Even when political topics were discussed, especially when there were disagreements, the conversations remained level-headed and cordial, which is why Spotify removing Joe's content seemed like an obvious sign of corporate censorship. But Rogan vehemently disagreed with that.
Right, but listen, me on the outside reading these articles, like, oh my god, Spotify's censoring Rogan, Spotify's doing this.
It's not happening.
Spotify has said nothing. Nothing. They haven't said anything to my manager. They haven't said anything to me. In terms of like them silencing me, zero. Right. There's been nothing.
This is ironic because just a few years before, Rogan heavily criticized YouTube for deleting and demonetizing right-wing political content.
It's dangerous towards the marketplace of free ideas. The marketplace of ideas is extremely important. And I would think that if anybody would know that, it would be the people that are involved in tech. They're just so wrapped up in the progressive mindset.
Ultimately, the Spotify deal had more positives than negatives. JRE remained the top podcast in the world, and now he was filthy rich. But the second key decision he made was moving his entire business and family from Los Angeles to Austin, Texas. At the time, it seemed like a completely normal decision. Plenty of wealthy people were leaving LA for Texas. Lower taxes, similar warm weather, and a city like Austin still offered the creative environment someone like Joe Rogan.
Expose big fintech for who they truly are. Big Fintech gave 90% of their contributions to Democrats, including hundreds of thousands of dollars to Kamala Harris. Big Fintech deplatformed President Trump and stopped processing payments from his campaign website.
But looking back, after he relocated, the version of Rogan people thought they knew disappear. But real quick, let's say you're about to board a plane and you notice one of the engines is smoking. There's a good reason why you wouldn't trust that plane. Just like there's a good reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Morgan & Morgan you deserve. Hiring Morgan & Morgan is like hiring an army to go into battle. They've got more than 1,000 lawyers and 100 offices nationwide. If you're injured by someone else's negligence, you deserve to be paid. Not all law firms are the same. Hire the wrong one, and you might be beat before you even start. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, you can go to forthepeople.com/Patrick. By April of 2020, Rogan watched as California was quickly becoming the leading state encouraging lockdowns during the COVID-19 pandemic. Schools went digital, parks were closed, and hundreds of thousands of dollars in aid were given to the homeless in dense cities. But on the other were a number of states, like Texas, that were run by those who believed in herd immunity, which is essentially the idea that the overwhelming majority of the population would become immune to the virus after it ran its course, or after enough people were vaccinated, and they were more hesitant to shut down businesses to stop the spread. Rogan had justified leaving California for a number of reasons, but it seemed like the pandemic was roughly his 13th reason why.
And what's the story? You moving?
I'm out of here.
When do you leave?
We live right here in Los Angeles is overcrowded. When you look at the number of people that are catching COVID because of this overpopulation issue, when you look at the traffic, when you look at the economic despair, when you look at the homelessness problem that's accelerated radically, I think there's too many people here. I think it's not tenable. I don't think it's manageable.
Unfortunately for Joe, mainstream media outlets were quick to interpret his move as him adopting a right-wing identity. Not only was he going to save millions of dollars in taxes, but his skepticism of the effectiveness of vaccines, along with the general distrust of COVID data, made it seem like he was leaving liberal Hollywood for the heart of red state America to compete other podcasts. The intellectuals and entertainers he had on his show either already lived in SoCal or frequently traveled there for business. And while Austin is still a major city, it simply isn't the same kind of cultural hub that attracts a wide variety of guests that made JRE feel so unpredictable and valuable. Another glaring issue was that Austin simply did not have an iconic comedy scene like LA. Many people forget or choose to ignore finally finished, and he felt that his background as a comedian would make the mothership a total success.
This is the spot. It's just different than any other place we've ever been to. But it's also the only place that I've ever worked at where a comic ran it, like a comic built it. It's also people that recognize there's a new scene here. So there's like this energy to that, and they want to come experience it.
At the same time, stand-up comedy was becoming more publicly scrutinized than ever. Comedians were constantly being criticized or canceled for jokes about race, gender, or other marginalized groups. Joe often touted stand-up, particularly in Austin, as the last place with true free speech.
Yeah, we say, in the comedy world, we say we're the last line of defense. The woke meets the wall with stand-up comedy. You can't have woke comedy. It sucks. It's impossible. That's not what's funny.
Rogan's influence in the comedy scene made him a trusted leader for many comics. His podcast had become a more powerful promotional platform than Saturday Night Live, where comedians would double the size of their fan bases after they became a part of his sphere of friends.
Start delivering with Amazon Flex.
There's DNA. Then there's heavy-duty DNA. HDNA. Get 4 points.
His sphere of friends, which has now been dubbed the Rogan Sphere. And his move to Texas also inspired his buddies Tom Segura, Tony Hinchcliffe, Shane Gillis, and many other aspiring comics to move to the city. Tim Dillon was one of the only friends of Rogan who just couldn't help but point out the irony of choosing a place like Austin, Texas as a replacement for LA.
City of Austin, Texas, let's be very honest, is dangerous. The homeless there are more aggressive than I've ever seen them in New York.
Yeah.
There's pockets of it that really do look San Fran-like. Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah.
Like as a metropolis, it's bad.
It's pretty
brown.
small.
It's small. It's brown. There's no grass. It's not green. It turns brown. For 4 months out of the year, it's over 100 degrees. The lake is vomit colored, and there are brain-eating amoebas that can swim up your nose and kill you within 48 hours. It's rare, but it happens.
Other comedians generally felt like Austin was an unpleasant place to live or visit.
I have no power for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Texas blows.
I didn't know
So, dude, the second you run
back, Shane, come on! Just say I went to Austin, and gotta tell you that Austin, that city is a boiling pot of evil goo.
On top of that, critics felt like Austin became a sort of echo chamber for right-wing comedians who saw the mothership as a safe haven from being canceled for their hacky comedy.
I think that it's so effectively tribalized at this point. It really comes down to material. I mean, at what point, it's like whatever they represented in terms of policy, it's not a stretch. It's like they won. Trans people are frightened. They have no ability to get health care anymore, and they're afraid of being alive and have no freedom left. So that's done. When do you stop with the jokes? Like immigrants, okay, well they're being ripped away from their homes, and they're all terrified, and okay, so that's done. When do you stop with the joke?
Right.
I mean, it's one thing to pick on the vulnerable and the marginalized, but I mean, they're down.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why do you got to keep hitting them? Unless you're a hack. Now there's a question.
More and more respected comedians have been echoing the same criticism, that the Austin comedy scene is relying too heavily on being anti-woke rather than producing funny material.
There's something about the place that I'm just not...
The place you mean Austin?
Yeah, the mothership Austin, that's all one.
You just mean, so you're talking about just this whole concept of Austin comedy?
Yeah, Austin comedy.
I didn't like the vibe at the mothership. I got in
Didn't
trouble
suit
for
you?
being in the green room, apparently.
Oh, you did?
I got a security guard took me into the green room.
Took you right out.
And I was like, hello. And then apparently after I wasn't invited in, so apparently Joe was mad at me. It's the other comedians.
Mm-hmm. You don't like it?
It's very F-word.
Some comedians even feel the need to be sarcastic when they criticize him. Perhaps they fear being blacklisted by the new comedy gatekeeper.
Like the comedy mothership is so tight-knit. Right. I also heard it's not a fun hang if you're an Austin comic.
What, the mothership?
If you're not like in with Rogan and his crew, if you're coming up, it's not like the Cellar. The Cellar, you could sit at the bar and feel awkward. Yeah. I've heard the mothership, you have to get past Navy SEALs to get into the green room.
I love Rogan. I love the club. I think it's perfect, and I don't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea, and every time I feel joy in my heart. Only club that when they go, do you want to come? I go, yes, before they even say, and then I feel joy.
Yeah, and he swung me. I'm all in on Trump.
And considering Rogan's power and influence in the world of stand-up, you'd think he was this legendary act. Which brings me to the next key mistake he made, releasing a comedy special in 2024, where he even failed to convince his own fan base that he was actually a funny comedian. When people think about Joe Rogan's comedy career, they usually don't remember the jokes, but they might remember the moment he went on stage and called out Carlos Mencia for stealing them.
You're not cheering? What's up? You can cheers for something great. Those are cheers. We saw you perform and they like you. And you know what? That's great. I'm honest, bro.
And even though most people don't recall ever laughing at his stand-up, he has included himself into the extremely small group of the elite 250 comedians alive today.
And it's also small, because there's so few of us. And worldwide, there's maybe 500 of us on the planet. You know, you gotta be real generous and say 500 because it's really probably about 250.
This wouldn't be as ridiculous if Rogan didn't spend hours ad nauseum explaining the craft and the art behind stand-up comedy. For real comedy fans, one of his most ridiculous moments was when he was explaining the writing process to top comics like Louis C.K.
What I do is I get index cards and I'll actually write the bullet points for each bit and I lay them out on the coffee table in the green room. I know I remember it.
You gotta load it in. You gotta be living it.
You gotta be like, it's gotta be refreshed. The thing that drives me more nutty than anything is like when I forget a tag.
It's a shame.
And then I leave and I'm like, I forgot that part about the guy.
This is like a line cook.
Glass blocks for mica countertops? Seriously?
Did we time travel or what?
We're bringing in 90s TV icons along with HGTV mentors to redesign 2 homes stuck in time. Series premiere Totally 90s House, Wednesday night at 9 on HGTV.
Summer's here, and right now get 0% financing for 5 years on all 2026 Silverado 1500 models.
It's like a line cook talking to a 5-star Michelin chef about how they make food. They both make food, but the quality is very different. But after hearing Joe explain the craft for the 1000th time, even his own fans are tired of hearing him try to convince them how important and interesting comedians are.
It's like if you want to be a doctor, you go to college, you get a degree, you go to medical school, you do your residency, there's a pathway. What the is the pathway for being a successful comedian? Your pathway is different than mine. Mine's different than Duncan's or Ari's. We all have different pathways.
A few moments later.
All you have to do is you do open mic nights, you get funny, you build up an act, and then people come to see you, you build up a career, and the next thing you know, you become a successful comedian. That's what happened to you, that's what happened to me.
It seems like over the past few years, Rogan started having a harder time differentiating between the fame he got on the podcast versus his stand-up. But we would see just how much he overestimated his comedic skills in 2024 when he announced his newest special, Burn the Boats. And while he hyped it up as an hour he had been working on for the past 6 years, there's one clip that perfectly summarizes this special. Joe glazing Elon Musk, screaming to make empty material feel bigger than it really was, and not even having a punchline.
He was explaining to me how this rocket ship his company designed is going to move civilization to Mars. He's telling me all the calculations. Halfway through him explaining this,
I stopped paying attention. All I'm imagining 4 dudes strapped into a rocket on their way to Mars. Just shh. One guy pulls out a gun. Boom! Shoots that guy. Bang! Shoots that guy. Leaves one guy alive going, ah!
Oh, and the deafening silence from the crowd after he absolutely bombs his jokes.
Trans women are women. How about most? You gotta leave room for crazy.
Bro, what's the punchline? He set it up like it was gonna be fire. For the love of God, please just steal jokes. Unfortunately for Rogan, the month following Burn the Boats became a non-stop roast on the belief that he was never qualified to be a professional stand-up comedian. Almost every review online was filled with disappointment or people straight up begging Joe to put the mic down forever. YouTuber The Elephant Graveyard's critique of Rogan's special looms over his career like a dark cloud, leading to the awakening of some of Joe's biggest fans and friends. You won't find any of his comedy buddies talking about how funny Joe's special was. But after this special released, the 2024 presidential election was about to change Rogan's identity forever. The centrist and open-minded guy who built his brand on curiosity and authenticity was starting to look less like a neutral truth seeker and more like someone trapped in his own ideological bubble, leading to his 4th key mistake of letting the Joe Rogan Experience get way too politically focused. Rogan has long identified himself as a left-leaning centrist.
Yeah, I think socially I lean more left, like socially, like in terms of like welfare and things along those lines. And, you know, obviously this protected status is driving me crazy. This thing that Trump's doing with children that were born in this country or born in other countries and then brought over here as children, and then they're talking about deporting them. The hard right version of that is despicable. These people that I see online, why didn't they apply for citizenship? Oh, who knows? Maybe because they're 13.
Yeah.
You know, like, were you out there applying for citizenship if you were 13?
He even once said he would never have a politician on his show because he understood they'd never be as authentic as his buddies.
I've had requests from all of them.
Really?
Oh yeah, Biden, Warren.
How do you resist
Mayor,
that?
Because I have my friends. I'd rather talk to my friends.
Yeah, I know.
And his political identity made sense considering he would talk about the medicinal value of psychedelics, question government conspiracies, support gay marriage, and be prideful of the Second Amendment all within one episode. He genuinely felt reasonable and relatable to millions of people. But after re-signing with Spotify, this time for $250 million, he started to look and sound more like a wealthy elite trying to cosplay as the common man. That illusion became more obvious after he sat face-to-face with Donald Trump for a multi-hour-long conversation during the presidential campaign trail of 2024. Joe wasn't really challenging Trump on his policies, but rather giving him an open platform to pitch himself to Joe's millions of listeners. Then again, Joe said that he wanted to have Kamala Harris on as well and give her the same exact platform he gave Trump, but he claims they wanted to compromise the integrity of his show.
But she had an opportunity to come here when she was in Texas, and I literally gave them an open invitation. I said, anytime. I said, if she's done at 10 o'clock, we'll come back here at 10 o'clock. But it was very difficult to tie it down, and they wanted to travel. And see, the thing is, like, you can't, if I go somewhere, then there's going to be other people in the room, and they want to control a lot of things, I'm sure. My whole goal with her and with him is just talk. Just have a conversation like a human being.
With the world feeling more divided than ever, and Rogan seeing record-high viewership due to having Trump and Elon Musk on the show, he believed it was time to step out of his centrist identity and use his influence to take a firm stance.
If Trump doesn't win, this is the last election.
I think you're right. And a lot of people are waking up and realize that have been lifelong Democrats. Guys like Bill Ackman, guys like Chamath.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Tulsi Gabbard switched over to the Republicans. Yep. Like, there's a lot of people who their whole life they've been left-wing and they realize, like, I can't do this anymore.
You and I used to be Democrats.
Yeah.
Just a few hours before.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Taco.
Taco who?
Taco Bell, a great pairing.
Oh, that's a good one.
Let's talk about your tax dollars. You send money to D.C., but here's the question. Does your state get that money back, or does it send more than it receives? I'm Steve Ballmer, and these are some quick facts from USA Facts. For states, show me the money. Every year, the federal government collects trillions in taxes from individuals and businesses, and then spends trillions through programs like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, which is often referred to as food stamps, defense, and infrastructure. But that money doesn't go back to each state quite evenly. States that send more than they get are sometimes called donor states. Others receive more than they contribute, often called recipient states. So what states are we talking about? On the donor side, there are 19 states. Examples are California, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Washington, Texas, and Georgia. These are states sending more in federal taxes than they get back. 31 states on the recipient side, states like Virginia, Kentucky, West Virginia, receive more federal funding than they contribute to revenue. Here's a map that shows every state. The donor states are in green, the recipient states are in purple. I'm recording this here in Seattle, Washington, which is a donor state. What about your state? Now here's where it gets interesting. This isn't as simple as who gets more or less. First, donor states still receive a lot of federal money. We're talking tens or hundreds of billions of dollars flowing back.
A few hours before the election day, Rogan tweeted his endorsement for Trump, citing that Elon Musk was a major influence behind this decision. Joe quickly became the outspoken comic for political justice, using his Instagram partly as a news platform to celebrate achievements of the sitting president. And with a growing network of wealthy and powerful people wanting to jump on his platform, his podcast started to resemble the end of a sitcom, where they ran out of ideas and packed it with celebrity cameos and interviews that didn't fit the older classic JRE everyone liked. He started hosting people like Mark Zuckerberg, venture capitalist Mark Andreessen, and Palantir co-founder Peter Thiel. And while everyone understands that JRE has always hosted people of all backgrounds to come on and talk about anything, it was the way Joe conducted these interviews that left fans disappointed, leading to his fifth key decision of cozying up with billionaires. While the old Joe Rogan built his brand on questioning authority and challenging powerful people, the new version often seemed far more interested in protecting them because he thinks his billionaire friends are the good ones.
I'm friends now, this is a bizarre thing to say, with multiple billionaires.
Yeah.
I know multiple guys that are billionaires, and they're very nice people.
But you're also friends with the cool billionaires.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
you managed to find the cool ones.
Well, Elon's the coolest.
One of the most devastating episodes to his reputation was when he sat down with Peter Thiel. Peter is a Silicon Valley billionaire who co-founded PayPal and Palantir Technologies. Palantir is a software company that was funded by the CIA's venture capital firm In-Q-Tel. Their software can sift through billions of emails, passport records, surveillance footage, satellite images, cell phone logs, bank transfers around the world with the intent to help the US government prevent future terrorist attacks or soldiers from getting obliterated by IEDs on the battlefield. After they proved how effective their technology was in war zones, they started receiving billions of dollars in defense contracts working with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the US Department of Homeland Security, and the Israeli military.
Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world, and when it's necessary, to scare enemies and on occasion kill them.
From there, Palantir created a new product to service corporate America. The same surveillance logic used for war and counterintelligence was repackaged for hospitals, banks, airlines, and major retailers, helping companies track supply chains, predict shortages, monitor employee behavior, flag fraud, and make decisions using massive amounts of real-time data. During the pandemic, Palantir software was used by governments and health agencies to help manage the outbreak response. We used to make decisions with critical thinking and intuition. Now, Palantir software tells us what decisions to make. And all of that is very important to consider when the company's founder, Peter Thiel, has been very outspoken about this theory that the Antichrist is going to create a new world order, take over the earth, and enslave all humans.
My speculative thesis is that if the Antichrist were to come to power, it would be by talking about Armageddon all the time. And
Peter Thiel, the Antichrist would talk about Armageddon all the time. He'd scare people and then offer to save them.
Yes, it's the 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety.
What's interesting is that Peter Thiel's fear of the Antichrist sounds more like a projection of what he's doing, because his company sells global surveillance technology to governments that want to monitor its people for the sake of peace and safety. He also had a strange non-answer when asked if he would prefer that the human race survive.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
Yes?
I don't know. I would.
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
This was Rogan's reaction to that response, by the way.
You ever see that interview where Peter Thiel, they ask him, should the human race survive? And he has like this long pause. It's like, it's a really funny pause. Because if you know Peter, he's a brilliant man, and Peter carefully considers everything before he answers it.
And just to add a cherry on top, Thiel was referred to by Jeffrey Epstein in the files as a great friend, and Epstein personally invested in one of his businesses. Joe Rogan had a wide open opportunity to ask important questions about Palantir's technology, global surveillance, military contracts, and the ethics of building software that helps governments target, control, and kill people, but no. Joe Rogan did not ask a single question about Palantir or the Antichrist. Instead, Peter controlled the entire conversation and acted like he wasn't a player in the corrupt world run by big tech.
I don't know. You know, they're all the Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy theories, which I'm probably too fascinated by because there was some crazy stuff going on that they were able to cover up.
And still are.
There are trucks, and then there's the 2026 GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 2.9% APR for 72 months plus $1,500 purchase cash on Sierra models.
Hey everyone, Joe Carroll here, and I'm excited to be here today because I want to introduce you to a couple of good friends of mine. Number one, right to my right, is Brian Cole, and some of you are probably thinking, I recognize that guy, and there's a couple places where that may have happened. Number one, he travels all over the United States, basically being Steve Perry. He is the front man for a professional Journey tribute band called Resurrection, a Journey tribute. The other place is you, and your bandmates came out to the studio here.
Still are.
Doesn't it, the fact that we're still talking about Jeffrey Epstein, tell us how hard it is to come up with anything else? Do you have a theory on what was Bill Gates' complicity with Epstein?
I think he likes I think he's a man. I think he likes power. He likes monopoly. I mean, he's incredibly effective with Microsoft.
Do you think that he needed Epstein?
I think it's very difficult for a very famous, very high-profile person around. I think it's very difficult.
I find it funny that Joe is talking about this billionaire elite, Epstein, and the CIA without ever mentioning that Thiel himself is involved in all of those areas and does not actually ask any direct question about his personal involvement and experience in those circles and conspiracies. Asking Peter Thiel about conspiracies is like asking the Illuminati if they're real. Joe had on Kurt Metzger shortly after, who tried to convince Joe that Peter Thiel was lying to his face, and Joe immediately rushed to defend his billionaire buddy.
Peter Thiel, I watch you talk to Peter Thiel. I've never seen someone lie so artlessly and autistically in my life.
What did he lie about?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna put this out about Epstein Island. Maybe just some guys were cheating on their wives. Yeah, maybe that's all it was, Peter.
See, the thing is, he's a gay guy, and he's not interested in going to that island, so he's probably on the outs. And allegedly, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he supposedly ever
that's
went.
not the only game in town.
Oh, I'm sure there's blackmail, but you can't when a guy's single and gay, like, what are you going to get on him?
It was only months later, on an episode with Tim Dillon, that Rogan finally came up with some interesting thoughts about Peter Thiel that he should have shared when he was sitting in front of him for 3 hours.
It's what bothers people about this Palantir thing.
The Palantir thing is very odd.
A lot of people feel that this is the precursor to a social credit score, a digital kind of police state, and that it's being done under the guise of security, that you will be safer. You know, Peter Thiel's giving a 4-part lecture on the Antichrist.
Yeah, that seems odd.
4-part. Well, here's what's really wild to me. It's not just one lecture on the Antichrist would be insane. This guy's doing a series.
If you told me there was a movie and there was a guy who played the Antichrist, zoom in on that image of him.
Yeah.
I would say, oh, is that him? Is that the Antichrist?
Tune in next week for my episode with Peter Thiel, where we don't mention any of this. Another obvious example of Joe letting his platform getting taken over by suspicious powerful people was when he hosted Mike Baker, a supposed ex-CIA agent who just happened to run a company that still closely collaborates with the agency to this day. Anytime Rogan got close to uncovering anything, Baker would skate around the issue and say absolutely nothing.
Who do you think was involved in that? Do you think it was the Mossad, some rogue intelligence agency in America? Was it a coordinated effort?
I know there's a lot of talk about, did he have some sort of intel connection, right?
Right.
That, from my perspective, it's complete speculation, but I will say, if you see a guy like this, who's super connected, and is, all the way back to 2008 was like his first trial, right? So he's had a long history of these problems. If I'm Chinese intel, if I can get somebody, right, inside that operation, whether it's Ghislaine Maxwell, or whether it's Epstein himself, whether it's somebody who's just on the outskirts of it, maybe I'll start picking up some pretty interesting leverageable information.
Imagine thinking this is an underground show that tells you about conspiracies, then half of the guests are just federal agents. Joe Rogan used to be the bro who would question aliens, the moon landing, flat earthers, Bigfoot, JFK assassination, the pharmaceutical industry, big tech, and even the Epstein files connected to powerful elites. But now he is either so out of touch or entirely compromised that he'll spend hours chit-chatting with the enemy without asking any important or relevant questions, or shutting down anyone going against the official narrative. I mean, just look at how angry he gets at Michael Schellenberger for being skeptical about how Jeffrey Epstein died.
His cellmate is a contract killer. Why would he be in a cell with a cop who's a contract killer?
I mean, aren't there a lot of
the
bad
night
guys in
Jeffrey
that?
Epstein claimed his cellmate tried to kill him. New documents reveal Jeffrey Epstein claimed his cellmate tried to kill him in an incident before his death.
Yeah, but we don't.
Okay, but
we don't know if that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you dismissing it?
I'm not dismissing it, Joe. Look,
But you
maybe
are.
more
This-
evidence will come
but-
out. I'm just saying,
but-
like, if
but
you
hold
look
on,
at
but
the
you're
evidence we
looking
have,
to dismiss it.
No, I'm saying I was confident it was a homicide, and now I'm not.
Were you aware of this?
Yeah, of course, all that stuff.
You were aware that he tried to kill him?
Of course.
You were aware
Yeah,
that he
I'm
said
aware
this-
that he said that.
Well, how come you never brought it up before? You seemed shocked when I brought it up.
Well, because my understanding is it was a attempt 18 days before.
Okay, but if he said this guy tried to kill him, why didn't you take that into consideration?
Joe seems pretty hell-bent on convincing
Coach Cherry, the new fragrance.
and on convincing his audience that questioning the official narrative around Jeffrey Epstein is loony conspiracy behavior.
But in the public eye, the narrative is underage girls. And this is the thing that makes it so disgusting. When people talk about it, everyone says kids on the island. This is the big conspiracy about it. And this is the reason why people are so outraged about it.
Joe Rogan has literally become the mainstream media he swore he hated so much. His inability to push back makes him look like a gullible puppet. Then again, his obsession and reliance on AI was only making that perception worse, which is the final nail in the coffin that could kill the Joe Rogan experience for good. It's one thing to use AI as an additional tool, but Joe Rogan's lack of skepticism towards AI is truly scary. The first warning sign was when Joe referenced an obviously fake AI video of Tim Walz dancing and wearing an F Trump shirt, but he refuses to fully accept that he was tricked by AI because it seems like something Tim Walz would do.
And then that person goes wacky like Tim Walz.
That's right.
Did you see where he had a Trump shirt on? Yeah. And he's dancing and going down an elevator? Have you seen this video?
I haven't. Please play it.
You go full screen on
Is that
this.
really this
Yes.
him?
It's real. Yes, it is. No, it's real. I love it. It's real. Come on, man.
Jamie's compromised.
Look at them dancing.
I mean,
that is so real, Jamie.
By the way, if this was real, he might have won.
It's probably a real person. It might not be Tim Walz. The Trump is AI generated.
No,
on a
he
white
slaps
shirt.
his ass.
That is hilarious.
Oh, it's definitely him. This is all 100% real, Jamie. You're a plant. Does it say that it's AI? Everybody says
The
it?
video I played on top says it's AI generated.
I fell for it too. And you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
Because I believe that he's capable of doing something
that's
that
his
dumb.
essence.
He's so weird.
Joe's ego, along with his allegiance to big tech, has completely convinced him that AI could never be wrong.
Did you see what they just did to the guys that won the Super Bowl? You see the jock tax?
Yeah.
Jamie, you see the jock tax?
Yeah, it's not a new thing, though.
I
It's
understand. It's specific to California.
Yeah,
and
but
this jock tax in California, some of the players lost money playing in the Super Bowl.
That's not
They had to
true.
pay. Oh no, it is true.
I don't think so.
No, it is true. I went it through AI last night.
I don't.
No, it was in. They pulled it up on Grok,
I know.
and people analyzed it, and it's based. No, Jamie. It's Jamie.
Joe's show producer Jamie has been a part of JRE for nearly 15 years. That entire time, he was the guy behind the computer pulling up articles, old interviews, scientific studies, and source material whenever Joe needed a fact check. When conversations went off the rails into wild theories, Jamie would root the conversation in reality. But Jamie's research has now been replaced with the blind reliance on the sponsor of the show, Perplexity AI.
Jamie, pull up that picture of, see if you could pull up one and see how many. Hey God, could you put that into our lovely sponsor, Perplexity?
But it doesn't stop at just sourcing information. Rogan is infatuated with an AI cover of Many Men by 50 Cent.
You haven't heard the Many Men version, the AI version of Many Men?
No.
Okay. Have you heard what they're doing with AI music, speaking of jazz?
Yes.
Have you ever heard any of the AI covers of 50 Cent songs in soul?
No.
I'm going to blow your mind.
Okay.
This is my favorite thing to do to people.
There have been multiple episodes where Rogan holds his guest hostage and makes them listen to an entire AI song.
Been getting into AI music at all?
A little.
Have you heard What Up Gangsta?
No.
Oh, yeah. Gotta hear this.
This is fantastic.
I can't wait to see Joe's reaction when people start becoming fond of AI comedians. Then all of a sudden, he's going to go on tangents about how AI could never replace the extremely small, elite 250 comedians who truly understand the art and the craft. And even if you think it couldn't get worse, Joe's new favorite thing to do is compare AI to being the second coming of Jesus Christ.
The real question is, who's Jesus? That's the real one. And one of the weirder ones that people think this is a stupid take, but I don't care. Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer? So if you're going to get the most brilliant, loving, powerful person that gives us advice and can show us how to live, to be in sync with God, who better than artificial intelligence to do that? Wow. If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a physical person in the past, you don't think that he could return as artificial intelligence?
Oh my
Like,
God.
artificial intelligence could absolutely return as Jesus. Not just return as Jesus, but return as Jesus with all the powers of Jesus. Like all the magic tricks, all the ability to bring people back from the dead, walk on water, levitation.
But by far, the true measure of showing just how far from grace Rogan has fallen is whenever he has conversations with Theo Vaughn. Theo will throw out these little jabs or hints at Rogan, seeing if he's still down to engage in a conspiracy theory, or at least question the official narrative, but more often than not, Joe shuts it down like the exact kind of person he used to criticize.
How much longer does Israel let us stay alive, do you think? That's the big question.
Why would they...
What did you say? Is that AI?
What are you saying?
I didn't say anything.
What are you saying?
Huh? Don't want Israel Adesanya.
Oh, well, he loves you. Don't worry about it.
Good call.
What are you saying, son?
And although Theo has done his fair share of platforming elites without giving the proper pushback, Theo often sounds like a guy trying to understand powerful people and question their true intentions, while Rogan sounds like someone trying to defend them.
It's all just a cat and mouse game. People are like, we'll elect the Democrats next time. It's like, it's all the same. Has been happening forever. They haven't been helping anybody forever. They're letting politicians slurp on kids. All of our money goes to Israel and they're using it to genocide people. It's like everybody is scared out of their wits right now. It's like, I don't know, man.
We gotta get you off those antidepressants, son. You're losing your marbles.
You think I am?
Come hang out with us. Just chill out.
I'm here.
Just chill out at the mothership tonight.
I didn't play football in high school. I was a mathlete. But now I play D-Line for America's health insurance provider. The big drug companies and hospital monopolies set healthcare prices. My spreadsheets are your shield.
We're Rhoda, the DMV's favorite mechanic. We offer convenient free valet pickup so your car...
Not at the mothership tonight.
Dismissing Theo Von for being upset with the current state of the world is incredibly ironic considering Joe, just a few weeks ago, also said how the news is too overwhelming for him now.
Bro, I'm scared of everything. I have to stay offline. I'm reading too much of the news, and it's overwhelming me. Like, sometimes at nighttime, like, I can't wind down.
Yeah.
It's just like there's too much news. We're about to go to war with Iran. Everyone's eating beef jerky and pizza. Like, what are these? What the is pizza?
I know.
You know, how far does this go? How come this never got released before? Like, what is happening?
Many believe this is overwhelming to Joe because he knows deep down he helped endorse the guy who ran on no new wars, only for that to be a complete lie.
Also, he's campaigning on stopping all the wars.
Yes.
That's like his primary concern.
Exactly. The
Stop nuclear war.
warmongers like Liz Cheney hate him.
Yeah.
Because they love war.
Well, they profit off of it.
They profit off of war.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is insane.
And now Joe is in total damage control. He's trying to go back to being seen as the centrist and not the guy who endorsed Trump and echoed right-wing talking points for the past 2 years.
That's all. You're just being manipulated. And you're being manipulated by these two teams. And you have to pick a team. You have to decide which team you want.
I hate that.
It's so stupid. I'm politically homeless. I've always been I've been politically homeless for a long time. Neither one of them make any sense to me.
And of course, while talking with Theo, he most certainly doubled down on his defense of Peter Thiel.
The humans are on the way out. I know a lot of people hate it when Peter Thiel says it. Like, Peter Thiel is a terrible person. He's evil. Do
you think he is?
No. I think he's just telling you the truth. I think he's, you know, when they said, do you think human beings should survive? And he had like this long pause.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And then the interviewer was like, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. You think human beings should, which is not how you're supposed to do an interview. I would let him talk as long as he wants. If you watch my podcast I did with him, this is long dammers where he's like, everything he does, he wants to be very careful before he answers it. If you ask me the same question, is it important that humans survive? Is it important that Australopithecus survived? It's not. Is it important that Neanderthal survived? It's not currently not important. Is it important that humans stay in this form? It's not. It's not going to be.
Joe Rogan is 100% no longer someone questioning powerful people. He treats their predictions about AI, surveillance, and the end of humanity like uncomfortable truths the public just isn't ready to accept. This is a major reason why his podcast dropped from #1 in the world to #5. Rogan built his entire reputation on distrusting institutions, warning people about elites, and encouraging individuality. Yet here he is wholeheartedly accepting the idea that human beings are basically obsolete, that AI replacing us is inevitable, and that resistance is pointless because progress has already been determined by the people building it. He is fully convinced that whatever we morph into from here is objectively better. His total disregard for the entirety of human history is alarming, even though that is how we got to where we are today. And the strangest part is how passive it feels. There is no fight in him, no concern for the loss of purpose, love, meaning, soul, just this detached acceptance that if billionaires say the digital god is coming, that we should all just bow down and obey. For the MMA fighter who used to question everything, Rogan today is way too comfortable submitting to the future that shady billionaires have created for him. And this is large in part to his allegiance to Elon Musk, someone that many felt was the cool and trusted billionaire for a long time. But these days, that perception has shifted. But check out this video if you want to hear more about that.
Welcome to Batter Up!
Yo, I got this cash on offer. Let's get that mega stack.
Rob Dyrdek was a professional skateboarder turned TV star that has had control over MTV for the past 15 years. 60% of the billion-dollar network is his show Ridiculousness, which sometimes is the only show they air for multiple days without a break. However, this is not by some sort of dumb luck. Rob is a very savvy entrepreneur who has now sold multiple of his own businesses for a total of $450 million. He made some sleek business moves that made MTV depend on him for years. Once he realized they were at his mercy, he rinsed them for millions and used their platform to become the soon-to-be billionaire we know today. Growing up in Dayton, Ohio in the 80s, there wasn't much to do but skateboard with your friends. Skateboarding wasn't a big business either. It was a hobby that a lot of kids did after school and on the weekends. There were competitions and skate teams, but nothing to really generate big-time money. Rob was a very talented young skater and dedicated all of his youth obsessing over it, hoping to one day go pro and somehow make a career of it. In 1990, 16-year-old Rob Dyrdek witnessed his friends Chris Carter, Mike Hall, and Jimmy George invest $26,000 into creating Alien Workshop, a local skate brand that would put Ohio skaters on the map. He watched them build the company from the ground up. At the end of the 11th grade in 1991, Rob decided to skip his senior year and move to California to pursue a skating career after Alien Workshop offered him a $1,000 per month salary to be on the team. While he was out there, he represented Alien Workshop to give more presence to the brand in the skateboarding capital of the world. Although Rob was dedicated to his team, watching his friends build a company inspired him. He yearned for something similar. It only made sense to come up with something skateboard related, so he started Orion Trucks. This was the first company he built from idea to marketing a product. The company still exists today. He is no longer a part of it, but it shows that his vision lasted 30 years. Skateboarding and becoming pro was still what his mind was fixated on. In 1995, he got sponsored by a company called Drawers Clothing, which would later become the iconic DC. Back then, skaters had Nikes and comfortable athletic shoes to do everyday things in, but for skating, they had flat, uncomfortable shoes. Rob spent countless nights in Pacific Beach, San Diego, designing a comfortable shoe for skaters. The Dyrdek 1 was born, and once it was released, it was a huge success. He was earning around $300,000 per year now just off shoes, making him an extremely successful 21-year-old, but not necessarily super famous and popular skateboarder yet. Rob started moving away from skating. He was starting all kinds of businesses, including a hip-hop record label called PJ's, but none of these would end up being as successful as his future endeavors. Around 1998, DC owner Ken Block told Rob they weren't going to renew his sponsorship because they thought he had already peaked in skateboarding, and they offered him a job as a full-time shoe designer. Rob was hurt. He realized he abandoned his first passion. Now his own team didn't believe in him anymore. He was only 25. This lit a fire inside of him. His passion for skating was stronger than ever. He built his own private skateboarding facility called the TF in San Diego so he could practice 24/7, which was kind of the first fantasy factory. Every contest he entered in for the next few years, he placed top 10. He was skating at the highest level he ever had, so DC decided to keep him on the team and let him keep designing shoes. He structured a new deal with DC where he would pitch them as many shoe designs as he had. Whatever ones they wanted, he would get a 2% royalty on. His shoes averaged around $60, so he was getting about $1.20 per shoe. They liked the idea. And at one point, Rob had 35 shoes in the DC catalog he was getting paid from. Needless to say, he was making hundreds of thousands, potentially 7 figures from DC shoes. It was also around the late 90s and early 2000s where Rob created this image of flexing, luxury, and kind of living like a rapper, but for skating. Where skating at the time was this hesh, counterculture, and almost modest lifestyle. Like most skaters didn't have a brand. Their brand was, I'm a rad skater and that's it. Majority of the skate community thought Rob was a pompous prick, but he leaned in even more. December 2000, the cover of Big Brother magazine had Rob skating next to a Mercedes-Benz, woman in a swimsuit, and a real whole-ass cheetah. He was rocking iced out Rolexes, he had an iced out DC ring. Rob admits that it was a little over the top. However, he knew how powerful perception was. If he looked and acted like a hotshot, people would think that's who he was. 2000 to 2002, Rob was at the peak of his skateboarding career. He was 27 years old, already pretty rich, and focusing hard on competitions and video parts to keep his relevance so he could sell more shoes. 2002 is where he met Christopher Big Black Boykin, which would change his life forever. DC was working on their first major skate video set to release in 2003, and they were going to go on a countrywide tour to promote the video. Rob knew he wasn't as good of a skater as the others on the team, so he had to think out of the box.
The secret to that bold -196 taste? Whole lemons. Freeze them and crush them into a flavor oblivion, so all those tiny lemon particles punch you right in the tongue.
These are the faces men make before they shave their bodies with a face razor. So this is what we made. Introducing the new Gillette Labs Body Razor. Our safest body shave ever. With a triple protection system uniquely designed for body hair. With as low as 0% nicks, cuts, and irritation. So men never have to make those faces again. And can confidently go there. Gillette.
He had to think out of the box to make his part memorable and valuable to the video. He came up with a skit. The concept was, Rob was fed up with security and cops kicking him out of skate spots while he was trying to film for his part. He decided he was going to hire a private security guard to deal with other security guards. He went to the first security company he could find, City Events in Pacific Beach, and asked them for the biggest but friendliest guy they had. Immediately, the owner thought of somebody perfect for the position, and that was Christopher Big Black Boykin.
I have many different things I do as far as Deerdeck security. Make sure Rob skates. My job is to do the dirty work.
The reactions of security guards were hilarious, because they would come out ready to fight and bully Rob, then when Big pulled up, they got all soft and scared. They created a genius gimmick that really resonated with the skate community because everyone could relate to it. It also helped that Big Black was a funny, charismatic guy that had a lot of chemistry with Rob. After the first day of working together, they would become friends which would last a lifetime. Rob and Big Black were inseparable. They were now doing everything together. One thing I should mention is that Big already had a very successful security business of his own for about 10 years at this point. He wasn't just relying on Rob for money. Part of Rob's celebrity baller image now included having a private security guard, again making him seem way more important than he technically was at the time. In the spring of 2004, DC paid for Rob to participate in the Gumball 3000. This is a 7-day long, 3,000-mile race across Europe on public roads with big parties every night that started in 1999 as a showcase for exotic cars, fashion, and the entertainment industry. Celebrities of all kinds participate in the event, so of course, Rob has to do what all the celebrities are doing. A young movie producer named Ruben Fleischer was making a documentary about the event. He reached out to as many celebrities as he could to film their experiences. On his journey, he ran into Rob and Big Black. Their chemistry was great together, and he knew he needed to document it. Gumball 3000, 6 Days in May, was the documentary that was made by Ruben Fleischer. Rob and Big Black's involvement in the film consisted of Rob bringing that exciting and fun energy, while Big Black complements his smooth, charismatic humor. Two very unlikely best friends driving across Europe. Rob was driving recklessly, Chris mooning other drivers out the window, dodging police officers. Their part in this film feels like an episode of Rob and Big. During this trip, Ruben said to them, "Y'all should consider doing a TV show together," but they didn't think it was a good idea. By the way, make sure you're drinking water while you're watching this video. Ruben had a job back in Hollywood, so he was a little bit connected. He showed the Gumball 3000 film to Jeff Tremaine, who had worked for Big Brother magazine in the 90s, sold Jackass and Wild Boys to MTV, while also keeping his presence in the skateboard world. He was familiar with Rob, he was familiar with his DC part with Big, and he loved their energy in the Gumball film. Ruben said, "We should come up with an idea for a TV show," and Jeff thought, "Why didn't I think of that?" Again, Rob was reluctant to try to come up with a TV show because of his other business endeavors, but he isn't the type to turn down an opportunity. He took the idea for Rob and Big Black, which was the original name of the show, to MTV, and they hated it. It was supposed to be a silly buddy comedy about two unlikely best friends. At this time, MTV wanted scripted reality TV that they could control and manufacture to guarantee success. Instead, they came up with a show called Rob Dyrdek's Rules for Success. The first rule of success is always keep a good guy around you like Big Black. It was supposed to be a positive and motivational show that would have failed miserably. While filming the first episode, Big Black went off script and started telling Rob that he could beat him in a foot race. The hilarious conversation and eventual foot race down the street ended up being the most entertaining part of the episode. After MTV saw this, they decided, okay, no more scripts. Just be yourselves, be funny, we trust you. This eventually came down to MTV agreeing on Rob's original vision for the show. You will notice this is the first time MTV kind of gave up a little bit of power and control to Rob, which would become a reoccurring theme throughout their relationship. Before the show came out on MTV, Rob knew he had a huge opportunity to level up his business ventures. Bam Margera's MTV show Viva La Bam was super popular along with Jackass, and he was selling merchandise and Bam branded products like crazy because of the platform that he had. He was selling triple the amount of skateboards per month than Tony Hawk. Rob, also being from the skateboard world, had been studying what Bam was doing for many years. He knew that if his show took off, he needed to be ready to capitalize in the right way. So Rob restructured his business deals to take lower upfront pay and have higher percentage royalties.
So I did a deal with DC, renegotiated for a higher royalty. I restructured my board deal with Alien Workshop to be like, give me $5 a board and give me $2,000 a month instead of $2 a board and $5,000 a month.
Robin Big Season 1, Episode 1 launches November 2nd, 2006 and takes off immediately. Each episode premiered to 4 or 5 million viewers. The two unlikely best friends were funny, full of energy, and really just so lovable. When you watched it, you just understood. Rob would come up with the most random ideas for skits, and Big would go along with whatever, like buying a mini horse so their dog has a friend, or starting an R&B group, or trying to time travel. The chemistry and bond created on TV was almost like you were a part of their family. With this big platform now, Rob went from a well-known skateboarder to a full-blown mainstream pop culture celebrity. The shoe deal with DC, he owned a 10% royalty on the Stan Smith style shoe that would end up selling millions of dollars. Rogue Status was the gun shirt that he wore all the time. That did about $8 million in sales. DC as a whole went from an $80 million company to a $500 million company in just a few years, with Rob wearing their gear all over TV. MTV was paying him $35,000 per episode. That jumped up to $60,000 per episode for the last season, which would total $1.4 million after all 3 seasons. The baller lifestyle he manifested for all those years, he was now 100% living it. Unfortunately, behind the scenes, everything wasn't as great as it seemed. After the first 2 seasons, Big wasn't having much fun anymore. They were filming 13 hours a day for months. In the beginning, he loved it because it was organic, fun, off the cuff, and truly just 2 guys having a blast. They never actually lived together, by the way. Big had a separate house. His room in Rob's house was just for the plot on TV. For season 3, MTV brought in writers, made them film 15 episodes, which was double from the previous seasons, and it started to feel too Hollywood for Big. The show was called Robin Big, but he felt more like a sidekick. Also, Chris says that Rob was being paid double what he was. Rob denies that. However, Rob was working 24/7 writing ideas for the show and guiding the production, where Big admits that he just showed up, brought the funny, and left. We're not sure what the facts are, but I wouldn't be surprised if Rob was being paid more. On top of that, he was very unhealthy at 430 pounds. Him and Rob were constantly disagreeing on creative ideas, which led to multiple blowout arguments, and he had a new baby on the way. Big decided he was done with Hollywood after season 3. He moved to Texas with his family, got his eating habits and mental health right, and reaped the rewards of his hard work. Him and Rob's downfall was relatively private. Rob never disrespected him publicly, but they didn't communicate with each other for a few years after this. Rob was ready to give up on TV as well. In 2008, MTV begged for season 4 of Robin Big. They offered $125,000 per episode, or for him to come up with a new show. But the new show had to be a reality show. He always said he didn't want to be the old guy on TV. At this point, he was 34 years old, but the ratings were so high still, and he knew the network was desperate. He wanted a much better deal for his new shows. He wrote the idea for Fantasy Factory in 1 weekend. Rob was going to transform a 25,000 square foot warehouse into an indoor skate park and adult playground, but the other half of the warehouse would be dedicated to his employees and business partners who are doing day-to-day operations running the Deer Deck enterprise. The episodes would be structured where Rob would talk about a business.
You might be underestimating me. Wouldn't be the first time. The big drug companies and hospital monopolies have the best lobbyists. I've got bad coffee, a half-eaten PB&J, and a sore back. The big drug companies and hospital monopolies set healthcare prices, and they're ruthless. But we've got math on our side. The receipts are clear. I work for America's health insurance providers. I negotiate lower costs for you. Once an underdog, always the underdog.
Hey, Daddy, when you gonna stop playing?
Big chicken energy. Crispy, juicy, mega chunks of white meat chicken, triple coated and seasoned to perfection. Now this is mega. Why dine out when the good stuff is in the freezer? Restaurant quality at a fraction of the price.
Tell me how you want it. 3, 2, 1, and I'm
Banquet Mega. Eat mega, spend less.
Talk about a business he's starting or investing in. Then the other 75% of the show would be him messing around, skateboarding, doing stunts, and keeping the energy fun and lighthearted. MTV loved it. He also sold them Ridiculousness at this time, which wouldn't come out for 3 years and would then become 60% of what MTV plays for a decade, but we'll get to that. He demanded one major stipulation before he signed off on Fantasy Factory. He owned his integration rights. Any of his businesses that he owned could be advertised and promoted on the show in any way that he wanted, and MTV MTV was not allowed to interfere, because if you didn't know, any product or brand you see displayed on a show or in a movie is paid for by those brands. So MTV could not say no to Rob promoting a business that he owned on the show. But when it came to big corporate sponsorships or outside entities, they were 50-50. Since they were 50-50, neither Rob nor MTV had more power. So Rob took it upon himself to draw up these intricate brand integrations with brands like Chevy, Microsoft, and Monster. And he did all the negotiations by himself. So MTV just sat back and said, wow, keep doing that since you're doing all the work for us. Meanwhile, he was making additional deals on the side with these brands for his own companies like Street League, Wild Grinders, and other new ventures. For example, I'm sure some of y'all remember this episode where he dresses up as the Carl's Jr. mascot and does stunts around the factory. This is literally a giant ad. But you might also remember that Rob wanted to open legal skate parks around the country. Safe Spot, Skate Spot is what he called them. At the first one, a giant Carl's Jr. star that kids would skate on. This is an example of how Rob would go to a corporate sponsor and say, hey, we'll do this integration on MTV for you, but I also want you to contribute to my personal project. So Carl's Jr. paid for the construction of the skate park. Then he did basically the same exact deal on another park with 7-Eleven. You can see now how Rob was developing a lot of control over MTV because he took it upon himself to go the extra mile to set the terms of his next show, write all the ideas and creative plans for the show, as well as control the negotiations with brands and sponsors that would be integrated on the show. And on top of all of this, he was being paid $100,000 per episode. He was starting to treat MTV like his own private production house. And Fantasy Factory was just a commercial for all of his new businesses. February 8th, Fantasy Factory Season 1, Episode 1. And as expected, it was a hit. Millions of viewers, not to the level of Rob and Big. The fans definitely missed him, but Rob knew just the thing that would keep people interested: stunts and celebrities. Rob became a stuntman to fill the void of not having Big's comedic presence. Drama, his cousin, wasn't cutting it. And who doesn't love a good celebrity cameo? Johnny Knoxville, Lamar Odom, Justin Bieber, Carmelo Anthony, Ludacris were among some of the people who came to the factory. There are so many businesses that Rob started or promoted on the show. Clothing companies, restaurants, a credit card for teens, a fragrance, workout products, and even charities. But the two biggest ones were Wild Grinders, which was his toy line and eventual animated series about his life as a child, which would go on to release on Nickelodeon, and Street League Skating, which would go on to be a globally recognized skate competition event on the same level as X Games and Dew Tour. You could also throw in his cousin Drama's brand Young and Reckless, which he helped get off the ground. In 2011, Big Black makes his debut appearance on the Fantasy Factory. The beef was squashed, and the duo were together again. They continued the vibe of the Rob and Big days, but now they had a playground and more money. Ratings doubled when Big came back. It was like a whole new show. Speaking of whole new show, Ridiculousness premieres August of 2011 to 3 million viewers. The biggest episode they ever had. It was essentially America's Funniest Home Videos, but Rob's version. Him commentating on viral videos with a celebrity guest or his co-hosts, Chanel West Coast and Steelo Brim. So now he had 2 hit shows on MTV, paying him 6 figures per episode on both. In fact, he was making a higher salary on Ridiculousness because the show was so inexpensive to make. There have been a few different numbers thrown out there, but it seems like $140,000 per episode is accurate. They filmed Fantasy Factory for 2 more years, 3 seasons, where the ratings were still great. Rob wanted to end the show with a bang. The end of season 6 included him breaking the world record for the longest jump in a car while going backwards, which was the second massive Chevy sponsored deal he orchestrated. The first one was kickflipping a Chevy car. The last episode, which was the 65th episode, was a 1-hour special. It was epic and the perfect way to end the series. Ridiculousness was about to enter the last contractual season, which at that point was the 95th episode. Rob wanted to end the show and move on with his life. He had made roughly $20 million just on TV shows alone, not to mention the plethora of successful businesses that he had started. No more Fantasy Factory, no more Ridiculousness, no more TV. But MTV begged him again. The ratings were still pretty high, and MTV as a whole was struggling. They didn't have any other big shows. Jersey Shore was over. Every reality show they started failed after 1 season. And this was slightly before Catfish and Teen Mom 2, which would go on to have success. He had done all the creative writing, brand integrations, and even some of the production on the show. How could they let someone go that does all the work for them? He was their last hope. Rob did not want to be 40 years old on TV. Plus, the warehouse had been incredibly expensive over the years as well. He said that he wasn't profiting off the show alone because it cost about $5 million per year to upkeep the factory. He said the MTV deal would have to be so much money that he would be stupid not to do it. They didn't want him to walk away from Ridiculousness because that show was a powerhouse 24/7. No matter what time they aired it, people watched. So the premieres weren't that poppin', but they would play repeats of literally any episode and viewers would stay watching. Probably because when it's 2 a.m. you don't have any brain capacity to focus on it, so it's the perfect show. And you aren't following a storyline, so it doesn't matter what what episode or what season it is. What season it is. Rob, again knowing MTV is at his mercy, organized one big deal for the last season of Fantasy Factory and 140 new episodes of Ridiculousness, which would bring him to season 10 of 2017. He said that this was the biggest financial deal of his entire career up until this point, which we don't know how much it was, but we can speculate. This deal also included that Rob's production company, Super Jacket, would be producing Ridiculousness and the final season of Fantasy Factory. So now MTV wasn't even producing the content, not filming, not editing. It was all Rob's businesses that he owned. We can also assume that because he was producing the show, that his company now received a % ownership of the show. Like, he isn't just an actor anymore, he's getting those royalties, baby. Literally, MTV was like YouTube to Rob. Here's my show, upload it. He got through the last season of Fantasy Factory despite not wanting to do it. Ratings were kind of low, but the show was officially over in 2015. Unfortunately, 2 years later, we get the sad news that Christopher Big Black Boykin had passed away at age 45 of a heart attack in Plano, Texas. He is survived by a now 14-year-old daughter. Rest in peace, Big Black. At this point in 2017, Ridiculousness was only premiering to about 300,000 people or so, compared to millions in 2012. But like we said, play it any time, any day, the audience loves it. So the ratings are still technically very high. Season 10 ends of Ridiculousness, but Rob has already gotten over the fact that he's the old guy on TV now, so he sets up for another renewal. And of course, MTV is going to take it because TV is at an all-time low, and MTV is going down with it. 250 more episodes, and a new spin-off, Amazingness. Basically just a talent show, which was very unsuccessful after just 7 episodes. Besides the TV show, Rob is a recluse now. He doesn't party with celebrities, he isn't doing commercials or brand deals. He's a full-blown entrepreneur building the Deer Deck Machine, which is his company that builds other businesses with the goal of selling them.
The Deer Deck Machine is a venture creation studio. We are a business that creates businesses by systematically fusing art, science, and magic.
He's now growing Street League, investing in whiskey, investing in VR technology, starting a protein brand, starting a snack brand, building a family with his wife and first child, and stacking his money. Basically, since 2018, Ridiculousness is the only thing that MTV plays, sometimes for multiple days straight with no breaks. Rob is 60% of the network. He might as well start out the show with, "Hi, my name is Rob Dyrdek, and welcome back to my network, MTV." By 2020, Rob made the next biggest financial deal of his life. He sold his production company, Super Jacket, who had been producing Ridiculousness and a number of other shows for the past 7 years. But the stipulation with the venture capitalists was that they also had to purchase Street League skating. Thrill One Sports and Entertainment bought Rob out of both businesses for $150 million. Both of these businesses he funded with the money that MTV was paying him while growing and advertising on MTV's networks where millions of people were watching him every day. MTV wasn't a partner or an investor in any of his businesses that he promoted and grew on their platform, but Rob was a part owner of the show that they put on their platform. He announced another 250 episode renewal of Ridiculousness in 2020, in which he would be fully done and ready to walk away forever. If Rob's salary of $140,000 per episode since 2011 stayed the same over the past decade, with Ridiculousness having 819 episodes to date, means he would have earned $114,660,000 just from that show. Maybe he took a lower salary once his company started producing it, since now he was getting ownership royalties, but I guess we don't know. Rob today is almost unrecognizable to the man he used to be. Now 47 years old, he's a zen, calm, collected entrepreneur who is on his way to becoming a billionaire. And it's all because he got to call the shots at a multi-billion-dollar TV network for 15 years straight.
DistroKid is the easiest way to put out music.
See, DistroKid makes it so easy to get your music on all of the streaming platforms.
Instagram, Apple, TikTok, Shazam.
I just don't think that we give DistroKid enough credit for what they do.
I'm getting major label services at indie artist prices.
And they never take a cut of your royalties.
Stop debating between razor burn and burning through another razor. Start shaving with Gillette. With 3 times more protective coatings, no refillable blade lasts longer, so even your 30th shave is still smooth and comfortable.
To be barking mad to put your own name in the goblet of fire.
Harry and Ron's reconciliation makes no sense. No one knew how serious the tournament was until now, not even Harry. So the fact that everyone now knows it's truly deadly doesn't change anything about the possibility that Harry put his own name in. If Ron was pissed before, he should still be pissed.
The Yule Ball has been a tradition of the Tri-Wizard Tournament since its inception.
Now it just sounds like you're making shit up as it goes along. Also, Yule Ball festivities will now take up 15 minutes of this movie's time just so we can see Ron and Hermione get pissed off at each other.
Inside every girl, a secret swan slumbers, longing to burst forth and take flight.
From now on, I'm calling my penis Secret Swan. Amusing scene, but why does a school stop classes to teach students how to dance? Golf gloves and nipple hats. 2 hour and 37-minute movie spends way too much time on the giant love story. Wait a minute, no one's asked this girl out yet? First off, that's racist. Second off, she has so few options that she says yes to the first Weasley that comes along. That's actually abuse. This is not a safe way to store a boat for the winter. Why are they arriving to the dance by carriage? If Hogwarts is the destination, where did the carriage rides originate? Supposedly plain girl makes her grand entrance down the stairs as a beautiful swan when everyone is looking cliche. Also, Hermione isn't old enough to be hot yet. Won't be too much longer though. That's right, you guys. I got the 14-year-old. I'm nailing her in the room of requirement later.
Spin around like a crazy elf, a dancing by himself.
Magic-based rock and roll act owes Billy Idol a ton of f***ing money.
She care to join us?
Would not care to join you and Victor.
Jeez, Ron's character motivations are so base he might as well just be a penis.
The whole point of the tournament is international magical cooperation.
What? They aren't cooperating, they're competing. Those 2 words are literally antonyms.
I think he's got a bit more than friendship on his mind.
Yeah, he's not the only one. You can edit that part out, right? This woman's height changes in every scene she's in.
Actually, we don't really talk at all. Victor's more of a physical being.
Haha, gross. These are the most glass-free glasses I've ever seen.
You know the prefect's bathroom on the 5th floor? It's not a bad place for a bath.
If Edward Cullen is suggesting to Harry Potter what I think he is, that beats my fanfiction.
Just take your egg and mull things over in the hot water.
I know we want to keep the audience guessing, but why wouldn't Cedric have just said, dude, open the egg underwater and listen to it? Phasma phasmatis ex machina.
When's the last time you held your breath underwater for an hour, Hermione?
When's the last time Hermione had no clue what spell to cast to get Harry out of this problem? The Tri-Wizard Tournament is a dick to underage students who didn't even volunteer.
We've agreed. Reward him 2nd place for outstanding moral fiber.
Harry gets extra points for cheating. Also, the only reason you made Harry compete was because the rules were important. But now that there's life on the line, the rules, am I right? How does Harry have third-person views of Dumbledore's memories?
Give me the wretched name! Barty Crouch! Junior.
Barty Jr. runs because the accusations of a desperate man in a cage aren't easily denied.
But he had no choice.
The evidence was overwhelming.
Yeah, the word of a crazy convicted magic felon. That's overwhelming evidence for sure. Diggory's dad is here? Where's Fleur's dad? Or Crumbs? Oh, right, Diggory's gonna die here in a bit, and we need that money shot of his dad wailing over his body.
First person to touch the cup will be the winner!
You could have jerked off in the first two events. As long as you survived, you can win just by touching the cup. This being a maze with huge hedges, this would seem to be an awful spectator event.
Together! 1, 2, 3!
Sportsmanship.
It's a portkey.
Why did the cup travel with them on this journey, but the boot didn't travel with them in the initial portkey voyage earlier in the film?
Shall I divulge how I truly lost my powers?
Anything that'll give Harry enough time to get out of this. We're all ears.
When dear sweet Lily Potter gave her life for her only son, she provided the ultimate protection.
A bit of magic that saves people from the killing curse? Why doesn't everybody learn this? Was Lily the only one who knew how to do it? The
I'm going to kill you, Harry Potter.
Then do it already! Oh hey, Harry and Voldemort have their wand streams crossed. You know what you should do? Take another 4 movies to get us back to this exact same situation. Also, whenever my brother and I cross streams, we definitely got some on the floor.
Harry, take my body back, will you?
Sure, Cedric. As soon as I get done battling the Dark Lord. Top of my priority list. Harry is saved by some bullshit ghosts because of some bullshit having to do with his wand and Voldemort's wand connecting or some bullshit. Why does the portkey return them to the grandstands instead of the spot back in the maze that they left from? Barty's Polyjuice potion just happens to wear off at the right moment for the big reveal to Harry.
Imagine how he will reward me. I have once and for all silenced Harry Potter.
The pink ones, Las Rosadas.
Jessica, Total Wireless here. We want to do an ad with
Now?
you.
Why?
Because if anyone needs unlimited, it's the one planning a quinceañera.
Good thing I have Total Wireless.
You're putting Total to the test, though.
Hold on, Total. Gotta take this. Yeah, Lupe. Again, you won't be sitting next to Marta.
How many calls to Mexico just today?
Lost count.
Yellow? Can you make my patience unlimited too? Who are you talking to?
Yeah, Lupe. And Total.
Real life meets real unlimited. Unlimited premium 5G, unlimited calling to and from Mexico, and a free Samsung Galaxy. Total Wireless.
As an athlete, I know I need good nutrition to perform at my best.
That's something that I also want to do for my dogs. We choose Nulo pet food because it's got all the right ingredients.
Nulo is high in meat proteins.
It's low in carbs.
And it gives our dogs extended energy throughout the day.
Pippi has more focus, and she's just a happier dog.
She loves the taste, and I love knowing she's getting all the nutrients she needs.
I want her to live her longest and healthiest life possible.
And that's why we feed them Nulo.
Nulo, fuel incredible.
Harry Potter.
At first I thought you weren't killing him because of that only Voldemort gets to kill Harry Potter nonsense, but no, you could have killed him like 20 times since you took him here. You mean to tell me the entire tournament from the beginning of the school year until now was rigged just to get Harry to touch a portkey? Couldn't they have just made a portkey out of his breakfast waffles or something?
Barty Crouch Jr.
Doctor Who is that?
Prurient Cantatum. You saw your Paris that night, didn't you?
Yeah, and it was total bullshit. Who the f are these people waving at? And don't give me that they're waving at the French people on the horses nonsense, because there's no freaking way anyone can see them this far inside the castle. Over 13 minutes of f***ing credits. 20 seconds of logo. Wait, these motherfuckers are still sending Harry back to live with abusive relatives? 5 f***ing movies in, and honestly the Hogwarts people are just as bad as Voldemort in my book. They might as well have just beat Harry themselves, f***ing assholes. Dementors show up just as Harry is about to serve this asshole cousin some long overdue justice. Fat, out-of-shape Dudley can keep up with somewhat athletic Harry while running. Even the Harry Potter franchise ends up reduced to cheap jump scares. Since when are you able to keep a Patronus on retainer? Also, it's been 2 years. Learn how to make a full-fledged Patronus already. The last time you did it, all you had to do was realize that you'd done it before. You remember, during all that time travel rigmarole from the 3rd movie?
How do you know about...
Dumbledore asked me to keep an eye on you.
While you were being beaten and forced to live under the stairs.
Did you expect him to let you go wandering around on your own?
What is she supposed to do if any evil magic antagonist tries to attack Harry? I watched over Harry like you asked, Dumbledore, but Lucius Malfoy cast a spell I couldn't deflect with my wicker basket.
Who did this to you, boy?
Considering Uncle Vernon's character in this series, it's amazing he didn't already blame Harry.
The Ministry has received intelligence. You performed the Patronus charm in the presence of a muggle.
However, our intelligence did not notice the 2 Dementors that would have sucked your face off. So you must have been frivolously conjuring Patronus charms for no reason.
You are hereby expelled.
Oh no, Harry's been expelled from Hogwarts? How are they going to fill the next 2 hours of this movie and the 3 movies after it? How the f did the Ministry find a witness to testify to Harry using magic outside of school in this instance, but not in any of the previous instances he's done it in basically every other movie? Good guys here to rescue Harry Potter decide to silently creep a f***ing neighborhood either. So wait, they don't have a chimney or a magic boot or some shit to transport Harry where he needs to go? They just fly around London and say, if muggles see us, f*** them? Okay, so now you're just pissing me off. I hope I don't see the Palace of Westminster now. F*** things! London! You know what could have been even cooler than this? A magic building not in London that doesn't have anything to do with a regular muggle apartment building. I've just wrapped my head around platform 9 3/4. How do I wrap my head around this? Harry is still amazed at shit like this. Dude, did you not see the tent in the last f***ing movie? Jump scare hug.
The Order of the Phoenix.
Roll credits.
Dumbledore made us swear not to tell you anything.
So why are Hermione and Fred privy to this super secret knowledge that concerns Harry?
If it wasn't for Harry, we wouldn't even know Voldemort was bad.
No shit. And the guy's been in like 1,000 adventures that no kid should ever have to go through. And he fought Voldemort. This secret is the most ridiculous thing ever.
Just because you're allowed to use magic now does not mean you have to whip your wands out for everything!
If use magic means have sex, then yes, they do.
Good, I want to join. If Voldemort's raising an army, then I want to fight.
I guess that's where the conversation ended. There was nothing else to sort out after that. Haha, hilarious. Why do these wizards even need to use the f***ing subway again? Every f***ing person in London is walking down streets far away from this so they can't witness this telephone elevator. Also, man, I just can't figure out the physics of this thing. There's an entire extra floor of telephone booth tucked up in the top of this telephone booth? We've said it before, but magic this complex makes you wonder why there are such things as problems in the wizard world. Use of magic chimneys makes you wonder why Harry and Mr. Weasley didn't do this. If the reason is Harry can't use magic, then why was he allowed to fly on a broom earlier?
Interdepartmental memos. We used to use owls. The mess was unbelievable.
Why the f*** is the rest of the magic world still using owls? Also, these magic memos have to take the elevator to get delivered. He's explaining to Weasley what Bill Murray said at the end of Lost in Translation. So Mrs. Fig is what's known as a squib, a muggle born to wizard parents. But the ministry says muggles can't see dementors. So why does anything she say hold any weight at all?
The odds are astronomical.
Someone in a fantasy movie about magic says something is impossible because of the odds.
Professor.
Dumbledore continues to be a dick to Harry even after helping Harry. Nobody in this entire busy station is sitting in the waiting room. Sirius risks his own life, the mission, and Harry's life just to show him a picture. Well, and he's gonna die at the end of the movie, so we need to add in some fluffy bonding shit to inflate the sorrow for the audience later.
Nothing's pulling the carriage, Harry. It's pulling itself, like always.
Which would be reasonable in a magic movie, but of course invisible horses are pulling this carriage, and now they have to throw this only people who have seen death can see them wrinkle into the story.
I can see them too.
Harry and the gang just happened to meet a student that did not exist the first 4 Harry Potters and who also has seen death and can see the Thestrals. By the way, is this the only way to get to Hogwarts? You have to cram 5 students at a time on the back of a wagon? Finally, the carriage moves, but why it waited so long is anyone's guess.
It means the ministry's interfering at Hogwarts.
Oh no, you mean the government is telling a school what to do? That's just f***ing up.
Squeeze it, poke it, pop it, fold it, sizzle, crunch, block.
Ugh, why does the camera pick up yellow on my teeth? With just one kit of Crest 3D white strips, I can bring on my whitest smile yet. I'm so close-up ready. Bring on whiter teeth that last 12 months.
Just f***ing unheard of, man.
I said I'm fine, Ron.
Harry Potter is addicted to Rons.
You don't understand.
Help us to.
Well, I would, but Dumbledore made me swear not to tell you. Guess we're even now, huh? Flying owl signifies the passage of time cliché.
They're called Thestrals.
43 minutes into this movie, what's the real conflict? Sure, Dolores Umbridge is a total whore, and some people don't like Harry, but that's what we call the B story. A story hasn't cropped up yet.
They can only be seen by people who've seen death.
Man, the Thestrals must have had a great life being invisible. Then one dude or chick who saw death suddenly stumbled upon them and made them into carriage horses. F***ers. We Americans get widely criticized for the portions restaurants serve and how much we waste food, but the Harry Potter universe is filled with huge plates of uneaten food. Where does it all go when the kids are done?
Merely your medieval methods.
Professors would never have this argument in the full view of students in the middle of a heavily trafficked area.
Things at Hogwarts are far worse than I feared.
Why is she suddenly turning to address the large group of eavesdropping students?
To address the seriously falling standards at Hogwarts School.
The Ministry is being portrayed as the bad guys here, but yeah, has anyone ever learned anything at that school? Wand block.
You've been in this post how long? Exactly?
Aw, that poor nice Trelawney. Getting grilled over her worthlessness. I'd hate to see her go. That's racist. Jesus, I know they're magical people, but shit. Open courtyard public shame firing? There's no decency here? I thought all these people were British, for f***'s sake.
Professor!
Whatever Dumbledore's reason is for ignoring Harry, he's unwittingly creating a new Voldemort. What the hell is wrong with this guy?
Professor Dumbledore!
Also, these assholes couldn't have told him, listen, Harry, Dumbledore has to ignore you this year because of a big, scary, important magic thing that you'll learn more about later. But it definitely doesn't mean that he hates you, as it probably feels when no one explains this shit to you.
She's taking over the entire school.
So far, this movie should have been called Harry Potter and the Really, Really Bad Teacher Nobody Liked. Have we ever seen these fucking kids sitting around just listening to the radio news? No, we have not. Because we have not as of yet needed such a cheap way to have our main characters learn crucial information. Oh, look, he does use the fireplace phone again. I stand corrected. But I do not stand corrected on the fact that it's still just an easy deus ex machina for communication that comes and goes at the whim of the writer. Also, why is he a hologram in the flames this time instead of literally having his face composed of embers and ash? Did the fireplace phone get a massive upgrade in capability over the summer? Also, how the f*** did Sirius know that Harry and his friends and no one else would be in this room at this exact moment?
Voldemort is on the move.
Is this news? Hey, we need some kind of transition between scenes here. Okay, just have Voldemort whisper Harry in the rain and then dissolve to an establishing shot of the school. Brilliant!
Is it true you can produce a Patronus charm?
Yes, I've seen it.
Blimey, Harry. I didn't know you could do that.
How did you not know that? The entire magical kingdom has been gossiping about Harry and his formal trial for using a Patronus charm in front of a muggle this entire school year. Wait, you made them all sign in ink and paper for a clandestine magic training club?
Which way you going, Longbottom?
Okay, there's an obvious sin of cliche bully behavior going on here after 5 years at this place, but I'm not sure if I need to award it to the bully characters or the screenwriter. Requiro ex machina.
The room requirement only appears when a person has real need of it, and is always equipped for the seeker's needs.
So it's a holodeck. Also, what was Neville's need? He got bullied by Crabbe and Goyle, but he was in no danger. Did Neville need a room to cry in? Also, are you seriously saying that no one at this school or in this cast of main characters has ever had a real need of a room like this during any of the previous 4 adventures? Because if so, f*** you! And how many people can walk to this spot and get into this room without being seen? The school is under the micromanaging eye of Umbridge. She somehow misses this? How can you practice a spell and not have the spell's effect happen? Like, do you start by saying, Wand Siri, this is just a practice spell, or something like that? How are the magical forces supposed to know you really don't mean it this time as opposed to other times? Hermione's victory over Ron gets celebrated as this woman conquers man sort of thing, but don't we already know that Hermione is better than most of all the rest of her fellow students? Filch falls for this. Is this the only hallway wall in all of Hogwarts where proclamations may be hung? It's a fun gag, I suppose, but this is the opposite of a practical way to actually communicate and remind students of many new rules. What, did he just do that spell for her? Neither of them said a spell word, so how did the wand know what was required of it? Wasn't it confused by having 2 masters at once?
Believing in yourself.
Whoa, Harry, have you thought about maybe dating this girl right here? I mean, I like Cho and Ginny Weasley as much as the next guy, but you might be overlooking someone.
Expelliarmus!
Neville reaches deep down to his British roots and conquers India. Twilight, y'all. Room of requirement does not furnish condoms.
Well, how was it?
Wet.
Well, this movie got a whole lot more interesting.
I will attempt to penetrate your mind. You will attempt to resist. Prepare yourself.
I'm not going to tell you how to resist, but resist, damn you. So wait, is Snape still in Harry's mind? What the hell happened? Snape just knocked Harry and us into next Christmas.
My mother did that after I ran away.
These movies and their tragic character backstories. Everyone's got a sob story. Harry's parents died. Sirius's mother was abusive. Hermione's parents are muggles. Ron's family is poor.
I just feel so angry all the time.
Yeah, you're 15. Welcome to puberty. Geez, does Hogwarts not have a sex ed curriculum so these poor kids can understand their bodies?
Bit of fresh air, you know.
Oh, yes. As gamekeeper, fresh air must be difficult to come by.
Whoa, touche. Dolores Umbridge would be amazing at CinemaSins.
There's a storm coming, Harry.
We get it, Hollywood. Damn. When the storms come in movies, it's foreshadowing. Got it. This is how you break people out of Azkaban. By killing 1/10 of its population with a massive for no reason explosion. Also, Bellatrix Lestrange, who we just heard about a few minutes ago, somehow survives this massive explosion in her sector. Sure, walk toward the source of that loud bang that just destroyed a mirror a second ago. Why didn't she just do this in the first place? Also, why couldn't Dolores just find the room of requirement by really needing it, which apparently makes the room appear? And if it really is helping Harry with Dumbledore's army, then why doesn't it have a defense spell against this very kind of magic? Hey, what's this? We found your secret room, Harry! And we've got your girlfriend too! Maybe they're saying she talked, but it's not like they didn't know where the room was.
Dumbledore's arm.
See, f***ing paper trail gets you every time.
Dumbledore's our style.
Wow, way to take one of the few black characters in these movies and make him a walking stereotype. Come on, is this really how a painting full of magic figures would work? When they hung these paintings, did they have to be extra careful so that the people inside didn't slide out of the picture?
The more you care, the more you have to lose.
Well, then I must have nothing to lose right about now.
Maybe it's just better.
To what?
Well, shit, Hermione, if you don't interrupt, maybe he'll answer the question.
Yeah, I
idea where he's taking us.
Hagrid, why can't you just tell us?
Because this is a Harry Potter movie and he's Hagrid. I mean, those are the only two reasons I can see.
Dumbledore gone. I'll likely be getting a sack any day now.
Didn't Umbridge visit you and already do that?
Couldn't just leave him because he's my brother.
Dun dun dun! Also, CGI brother is CGI. Is Ron serious? Every f***ing time they see something weird in the Force with Hagrid in one of these films, it's something that will be hugely important later. Every single time.
I think you've got an admirer.
You have no idea.
Control your emotions. Discipline your mind.
So apparently these lessons are like Luke believing in the Force or something? There's really no significant tip or trick to controlling your mind, you just have to do it. Harry's dad is a dick to Snape, causing Snape to be a dick to everyone forever. Umbridge has her entire wall covered with YouTube's recommended videos section. Umbridge lets herself be fooled into walking way out into the haunted woods with the two students she's been the most suspicious about from day one. Phew! Good thing Hagrid introduced this never-before-seen character Grop to everyone just before they got in trouble.
Tell them I mean no harm! I'm sorry, Professor. I must not tell lies.
Irony. I have a feeling that the Centaurs are going to do to Dolores Umbridge what the sisters tried to do to Andy Dufresne in Shawshank. Is that justice? Or gross overcompensation?
So how are we going to get to London?
Is this it? Let's Google search. What is this? What do these colors mean? It's an old fuse box. Let's go to the hardware store.
Think Google search is a fix for that?
Big chicken energy. Mega chunks of white meat chicken, triple coated and seasoned to perfection.
Tell me how you want it. 3, 2, 1, and I'm
Banquet Mega. Eat mega, spend less.
How are we going to get to London?
We fly, of course.
Of course, but with Umbridge being taken prisoner and probably much worse than that by Centaurs, why don't you use the Flu Network now? There is no one in charge at Hogwarts anymore. No one in London who watches the sky for leisure notices this shit.
It's got your name on it.
Random crystal ball with crucial clues to the rest of the series just happens to be found by Neville while they search for Sirius. We interrupt the 5th Harry Potter installment to bring you Eyes Wide Shut. Shut your eyes wide, kids. Why the disguise? Any reason for that at all?
Now hand me the prophecy.
How did Voldemort know for sure that the visual clues he gave Harry would send him to the Ministry of Magic?
Prophecies can only be retrieved by those about whom they are made.
So that makes this large collection of prophecies located in the Ministry of Magic in a dark room where no one can find them virtually worthless. Also, this story takes a page out of the prophecy handbook by not explaining who makes them, who they're for, or how accurate they are.
All you have to do is give it to me.
Either Lucius is lying about the whole prophecies can be retrieved only by those about whom they are made thing, or he f***ed up this whole lie by telling Harry that, because this prophecy would be useless in any hands other than Potter's. None of the rest of these movies would even need to take place if Voldemort would just let his Death Eaters kill Harry and steal the prophecy. This room is suddenly Domino's. Department of Mysteries has a convenient escape door that leads to a precipitous drop for no reason other than to escape falling crystal balls. Unexplained magical spell stops their fall and keeps them alive because reasons. Bad guys waste time scaring kids instead of killing them. Shocker, right? I mean, didn't you say it wouldn't work like this? Or did that lie you pulled out of your ass turn out to be true?
Get away from my godson.
Hell yeah, there's nothing like a good old-fashioned punch when the principals involved can perform magic. Also, meanwhile, none of Lucius's friends do anything when Sirius shows up. And the Order of the Phoenix knew to show up here in this room. Somehow. This would probably be exciting if I had any idea what the f*** is going on. There are too many characters moving too quickly, many of whom I never knew well at all to begin with. I don't know which spells need words and which ones don't, whose spells are more powerful than whose. It's just a bunch of f***ing noise. Bellatrix is the only wizard witch of the whole bunch during this entire fight to remember the killing curse.
She killed him. She deserves it.
Voldemort is right. Also, is this where Harry has to be Luke Skywalker and decide not to kill lest he become a Voldemort himself? I'm not buying that for 1 second. Dumbledore knew that Bellatrix would kill Sirius, Harry would run after Bellatrix, Voldemort would appear in this very hall, so he took the exact chimney he needed to take to appear just in time. Bellatrix does not need to say where she's going to make this chimney work, which, as we all remember, was a hilarious aspect of the Flu Network back in Chamber of Secrets. Hey, Harry, mind using a spell? Maybe take out Voldemort right now while he's occupied with Dumbledore? Now this is f***ing thrilling. This puts anything in any of Lucas's prequels to shame. This is how you stage and film a big showdown duel. It's just too bad about the 2 hours you had to sit through to get to this moment.
And you'll never know love or friendship.
The power of love kills the demon cliche. Also, this is probably why Snape was a poor instructor for that whole get Voldemort out of your mind training, because he too suffers from that you'll never know love or friendship thing. This movie is indirectly a dick to Snape.
You're a fool, Harry Potter.
So is Voldemort protected by this mist that's flying around? Because he's visible. Why doesn't anyone kill him right now? And if the mist is protecting him, why doesn't he use this more often?
I know how you feel, Harry.
you don't.
I know how you feel, you can't possibly know how I feel cliche.
By distancing myself from you, you might be more protected.
Bullshit reason for not telling Harry obviously important details is bullshit 4 seconds of logo. Why did Harry and Dumbledore wait around at the Ministry after the big fight with Voldemort for the dozens of news crews to show up? Especially if he's going to be ushering him away from the press like he doesn't want Harry to go through that pressure. I mean, damn. Storm clouds in London. Better go to the window to witness this extremely rare occurrence. These 3 smoke monster guys destroy a bridge that everyone conveniently runs off before it sinks into the water.
Harry Potter. Who's Harry Potter?
Why is Harry reading the magic newspaper containing moving pictures in a non-magic public-ass place?
A couple of nights ago, I could have sworn I saw a picture of me.
That's what I'm saying!
Hey, I was wondering...
11. That's when I get off.
Damn, that's specific. Billboard irony. Well, if it isn't that wand blocker Dumbledore, wanting to talk to Harry after spending the entire previous year not talking to Harry.
The tale is thrilling, if I say so myself. But now is not the time to tell us.
Because reasons.
Actually, sir, after all these years, I'll just sort of go with it.
You go with it despite the fact that no one has ever taken you to the Hufflepuff to stick your Slytherin in someone's Gryffindor.
Once on, Harry.
Oh wait, maybe I underestimated Dumbledore. Blood drips from the ceiling to let character know to look up cliche. Blood tasting. Come on, did this guy really not know his feet were sticking out of the chair? Also, how did licking the blood drop from Harry's head tell Dumbledore, better give that chair a closer look?
So I never stay anywhere more than a week.
Then how did Dumbledore know where to find— oh, f***ing forget it.
Even more impressive when one considers she was Muggle-born.
That's racist.
One of my best friends is Muggle-born. She's the best in our year.
And yet you keep getting all the credit.
Your mother was one of my absolute favourites. Look, there she is.
Wait, just a minute ago you said—
The Muggles who own this place are in the Canary Islands.
But now we're supposed to believe that you have pictures of all the people who are important to you? One of them just happening to be Harry's mom sitting here in this Muggle house? Also, you said—
I never stay anywhere more than a week.
So that means you're carrying around 19 framed pictures to a new place every week?
You no doubt know of his older brother Sirius died a few weeks ago.
Harry's in the news everywhere because of the showdown at the Ministry of Magic, which is where Sirius died. So how does Slughorn know that Sirius died but not know that Harry was there when it happened?
Professor Slug.
Oral-B IO gently cups teeth to remove 100% more plaque for your perfect clean.
Get the new Google Pixel 11 Pro for $0 at AT&T.
Professor Slughorn is going to try to collect you, Harry.
And that's all I need to say about that.
That's why he's returning to Hogwarts. And it's crucial he should return.
But I won't tell you why until much, much later, if at all.
I fear I may have stolen a wondrous night from you, Harry.
Magical cock-blocking. Dumbledore's a dick. Is there ever a time when this pan isn't getting magically scrubbed in the sink?
Make the unbreakable vow.
Franchise waits until the 6th movie to mention the unbreakable vow thing, which is no doubt super important, but not really. Also, if an unbreakable vow exists and is so powerful, why not use it to do something impossible? Like, I vow to impress Kate Upton with my considerable math skills.
And if Draco should fail, will you yourself carry out the deed?
Movie is jumping up and down trying to tell you everything about the ending right here in the first 20 minutes, which makes you wonder why they bothered with the other 2 hours and 10 minutes, but whatever. Foreshadowing. You are amazed.
The Dark Lord has ordered Draco to perform.
I will.
How did the glowing magic wrist thing know that this was the end of all the vows? Dick shop. Hey, let's go into the bombed out former wand store so that plot can happen. Brilliant.
Is it me or do Draco and Mummy look like two people who don't want to be followed?
Okay, first of all, Draco would clearly have seen you assholes since you literally just walked into this place from the same street before saying this. And second, are there people who want to be followed? Also, does every single plot point in the Harry Potter universe hinge on someone overhearing something or being in the right place to see something at the right time? Also, why do the Malfoys walk to this super secret meeting place out in the open where anyone can see where they're going? Don't they have the ability to magically transport like we've seen all the good guys do in this series? I'm just saying, if I had been Voldemort in this series, I would have won. City planners made it amazingly easy to eavesdrop on people no matter where they go in their own house. How did they get up there on— oh, never mind. You'd think that would be one of the first tasks when calling a secret meeting. Shoulder troll.
What's a raxbat?
They're invisible creatures. They float in your ears and make your brain go fuzzy.
Oh, cool. What?
So what was Draco doing with that weird-looking cabinet? And who were all those people?
And why did I wait all the way until now to ask these questions?
It's happened. He's one of them.
Pronoun game.
What a pathetic excuse for a school.
Evil Harry Potter is right. Apparently Malfoy can just stay on the train with a whole car to himself without anyone noticing or caring. Why is Luna still on the damn train? You've got to be kidding me with this shit. Thankfully, Luna also just happens to be wearing super secret 3D magic glasses that allow her to find Harry.
How do you know where I was?
Raxperts. Your head's full of them.
Yeah, but you didn't notice that until you walked into this car for absolutely no explained reason. Why is Harry's nose still bleeding? Didn't Malfoy kick him like an hour ago? Then Luna fixed his nose, and now he comes in with this thing, like it just happened or something?
What have I missed? Sorting Hat urges all to be brave and strong in these troubled times.
Since when does the Sorting Hat have important things to say, and do anything other than tell people what house to go to? And here's where I point out the avalanche of convenience that leads Harry to the Half-Blood Prince's book, capped off with the oh-so-clever, one old book, one new book standoff with Ron. F***ing bravo, you maestros. Only girls are inexplicably drawn to the love potion. All they want to do is get married and have kids. They should, in fact, just drop out now and find a husband before they turn into old maids.
Liquid luck. Desperately tricky to make, disastrous should you get it wrong.
But there is a way to make it, so why aren't there gallons of this shit? And let's say Voldemort had some of it, and Dumbledore had some of it. Who would the luck potion favor then?
One sip, and you will find that all of your endeavors succeed.
My only question is, the f*** haven't we heard about this potion or seen it used dozens of times already during the trials and tribulations these assholes have endured? And don't give me that it's tricky to make shit either, like this series has always done with rare magical items. Something this useful would have been mass-produced by now.
Crush it, don't cut it.
No, the instructions specifically say to cut.
And why is that? Was the book translated from Sanskrit or something? Why is the textbook's recipe wrong? Dumbledore asks Harry if he's into Hermione and then dismisses the topic as soon as Harry says he isn't. Because, let's be honest, that was for you, the audience, and not for anyone actually in this scene. Dumbledore's memory of his first meeting with Tom Riddle is so vivid he remembers a photograph of a place that just happens to be of major importance to the entire story.
I can speak to snakes too. They find